What's going on, everyone? So the Los Angeles Lakers just made a trade for the Brooklyn Nets 36th pick. And on top of that, they got Aduo Thiero, right? I'm actually incredibly excited about this. One, I thought he'd be one of the first pick. Like, I didn't think he'd even go to 36. Two, I didn't think the Lakers would actually be able to move up that high, especially for the going rate. I mean, you look at how these trade ups have gone, right? These trade ups have been pretty hefty. He's not even a guy that I really spoke about because I didn't think the Lakers had a chance to get him. I mean, this is a guy that on some boards was like mid first round. And now he's a guy that the Los Angeles Lakers are going to be able to bring in, give him some wing depth, a guy that has the potential to be an impact guy immediately. He's 21 years old, just turned 21. So still very young, right? But little older in the sense of like, he's not like 18, 19 or where he's going to be a little bit of a project guy. He's a guy that can come in and immediately potentially make an impact. And the Lakers sent the number 45 pick plus cash to the Minnesota Timberwolves in order to trade up with this. Honestly, I would have preferred the Lakers go and just buy. Like, could they have bought the pick outright? Maybe they'll do that with a later pick, especially with how much these early second round picks have gone, which look, early second round picks in general, or second round picks period, have much more value with the new CBA. It's something that I've talked about very heavily, right? It's actually the Rob Pelinka rule, right? Because Rob Pelinka was so bad at managing, like, and that's what I think is funny. So many people, criticize Rob Pelinka for things that weren't even really in his control when there's a lot of things that he did terribly. One of those things was the management of second round picks. So you're seeing how much value some of these second rounds. I mean, what was it? 31st pick went for like 4 seconds, right? Including 2 in this draft, future draft. The 32nd pick went for 4 seconds. You're seeing like an insane overhaul. And the Lakers just didn't have the picks and assets in order to go and make a big swing like that. Technically, this trade is with the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're the ones that are landing this. But this is a guy that, again, I really like his potential. A guy that can come in, again, give you some of that bench depth, give you some of that 3-and-D ability. Definitely something he needs to work on. Definitely needs to work on his three-point shooting. But he is a guy that is kind of, comped as this 3-and-D, 6'6", 6'7" type of versatile wing that can defend and is already looked at as a NBA level defender, right? So he's a guy that I think JJ Redick is going to love, and I think he's going to love and actually give him rotation minutes just because of his ability to defend. He can create a little bit for himself, create a little bit for others. He's a guy that just gives that hustle and versatility to a Lakers team that they really need. Again, and I know people are going to say, well, Lakers need a center. We got to get a center. Look, Lakers are probably, and this is something that I talked about very heavily in the most recent videos, right? And then I'll dive more into Aduo Thiero, right? But one of the things that I talked about with the Lakers drafting somebody with the 45th pick, whatever they ended up doing. I did want Zion James, but I also, again, I didn't think Thiero would be on the board. I thought that with the 45th pick, maybe Zion James could be on the board. I think the Lakers would be able to trade up enough to go get Thiero. I thought he would be a guy that'd be drafted late in the first round or super early in the second round, like with one of the top picks. But anyway, I digress, right? Point is that with the center position, right? If the Lakers could have gotten their guy with the Charlotte Hornets got, right, with Cockrider, like, I think that the Lakers might have maybe went that route because there was a lot of talks about that's who the Lakers were targeting. As soon as he went off the board, it's like, okay, who's the next best player available? Boom, Thiero. Easy. Go get him, bring him in. He's a guy that can help. But the center position outside of, unless it was like a clear-cut guy that the Lakers love, you have Christian Koloko, who's a development big. You have Trey Jamison, who are development bigs. And you still have Jackson Hayes that you could re-sign if you wanted to as another development big, right? So you have potentially 3 guys that if you need a third center, could all be that third center, right? The easy part, in my opinion, for the Lakers is solving the center position, right? Whether it's via trade, there's tons of trade options now, and there's going to be more after this draft. So there's several options at the center position that the Lakers could look to to end up trading for. But you also have several guys in free agency that the Lakers could sign, a Clint Capella, Brook Lopez, right? Obviously, I prefer those guys don't start, but I've even said I don't mind if the Lakers just, if all the players that the Lakers would have to trade for are all overpriced and, too much. I'm fine with if it's Clint Capella and a Brook Lopez, and then you're trading for like an Andrew Wiggins and whatever, a Terrence Mann or something like that. Go get 2 3-and-D wings that can come in, slot in, play a role, and then also go get those centers that are serviceable. Again, Lakers don't need this super skilled big man. I would have loved to have a Mark Williams, but I don't think he's somebody that was completely necessary for the Lakers, because again, any center that the Lakers trade for or draft or whatever, best case scenario is your 4th option. Best case scenario, right? Because they're not going to be an option over LeBron, Luka, Austin Reeves, right? We'll see what they do with Austin Reeves, but none of those guys are going to be an option over those 3 guys. So best case scenario, it's your 4th option, right? And then if you go trade for an Andrew Wiggins, could end up being your 5th option, right? So I think you just need, all the Lakers need at the center position, at least for now. Eventually, when LeBron retires and, if Austin Reeves ends up getting traded or goes elsewhere, whatever, right? Then maybe now go look for that skilled big, that versatile big, or, draft him in a later draft or whatever, right? But point is that, look at the Lakers, and all you need is a big that can rebound, defend at the rim, right? So rebound, block shots, and be that lob threat. That's it, right? Can he rebound? Can he block shots? And can he be a lob threat? Guy like a Clint Capella checks off all those boxes. I would have loved to have drafted, a center. I wouldn't have been upset if the Lakers would have landed a center. I wouldn't have been like, oh, what are the Lakers doing? How could they do this? No, I would have been stoked. I would have been happy. We would have talked about it. But I'm fine with getting a wing. I talked about that very heavily for, months now, right? Hey, if the Lakers with the 55th pick, if they can draft a wing, I think that you go that route, because it just, again, I think that will be harder for the Lakers to acquire, which is the wing depth, right? Could they, again, go get an Andrew Wiggins? So that's sure, but you're probably going to need the wing depth. And you're also probably trading several guys, right? You're probably trading a Rui and, maybe a Jared Vanderbilt, maybe. So even if you do go get a guy, you're still probably going to need another guy. And if you go trade for a center too, guess what? You're probably trading a Rui and some of these other guys. So you're going to need some wing depth. So I am totally okay with the Lakers going and getting a wing, especially Thiero. I didn't think the Lakers were going to be able to get Thiero. I didn't. And he's a guy that, again, I believe can come in and play a role immediately. I'm not expecting him to come in and be, Lakers starting, small forward or anything like that. But I do look at him as a guy that can come in, play a role, right? You look at last year, he was 15 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, right? Averaged 2 steals or 1.5 steals and a block. He played with Kentucky, right? Followed Cal to Arkansas, right? Played in Arkansas and was one of their premier guys. And you saw the progression each year, right? 3-point shooting, again, definitely is something that needs to be worked on, needs to be refined. But this is a guy that is already NBA level on the defensive side of things, right? This is a guy that gives you, again, this is a guy that, okay, so Fleming was the consensus best option with the number 1 pick. The second guy on the list on pretty much everyone's big board was Thiero. So the fact that the Lakers were able to get Thiero, who is a hyper athletic, versatile defensive, can do multiple things, make plays, right? Rebound the basketball, hustle, dirty work, all of that. It's huge for the Lakers. This is a huge pickup for the Lakers. Now, how does he end up getting and earning rotation minutes? Be that hard-nosed, defensive, versatile, just do everything, Swiss Army knife type of guy, right? Again, talk about a 6'7" guy that can come in, slot in. I think he's like 6'7" without shoes, so he might be closer to 6'8". I think on like ESPN and stuff, he's like 6'8", but let's call it 6'7.5", right? He's good, he's long, he's lengthy, got a great wingspan, everything, right? This is a guy that how you earn quality minutes is just be undeniable, right? Go out there, and I might actually make that a full video and kind of break him down even further, because I'm just 1 in shock, 2 in awe. But again, it gives the Lakers a guy that can be a slasher, right? Guy that's strong, physical, athletic, durable. This was as good of a pickup as it gets for the Lakers in the second round, right? Now, again, I would have loved to get, Cockbrenner and, or whomever, right? Zion James, another guy. Like, I was looking at Rocco is another guy I would have loved to get, right? There's several guys that I would love to get. Maybe the Lakers could still get, right? Lakers still have money. Let's say they put up another $2.5 million. They should still have $2 million. Can they go buy a late pick, with $2 million and maybe go get a Rocco or somebody like that? So again, Lakers, at least at the time of this video, time of recording this video, aren't out of the woods yet. Like they can still go and find that gem or whatever. And that's not counting undrafted free agents, which is another thing I talked about. There's probably going to be several big men that are going to go undrafted that the Lakers were interested to. And even a guy like Rocco, if we're at the 50th pick and he still hasn't been taken, right? Can the Lakers kind of send the kite to, his agent and kind of go, hey, if you pull in Austin Reeves, we'll sign you. And then maybe he's now going there. So this was a great pickup by the Lakers. I am like genuinely excited. I didn't think the Lakers, again, this was a guy that was as high as like the 15th pick on many boards. This is a guy that was projected to go in the first round. And then when he fell to the second round, the consensus was like, hey, this is going to be either the first or second pick in the second round. And the Lakers were able to get him with what, the 6th pick? It's huge. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, check out my YouTube, link in the bio.